Hey, what's good, everybody? It's me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, and you're watching Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Joining me from the Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks podcast is my co-host, Rebellious D. How you doing today, bro?
As usual, ready to rock.
Man, it has been a long week. I'm still recovering from NecoCon. I don't know about you. I mean, you seem more energized than I do right now.
I'm all right, man. I had to go KO Ken. So,
Hey, but everybody that's watching, make sure that you check out our interviews that we had from NecoCon 23. They are here on the channel. And
yes, they are.
Today we are going to be reviewing Chucky episode 5, Little Lies. And before we get into today's review, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell button so that way you're always notified when we have new content here on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. And D, like you tell everybody all the time,
as always, podcast in the description. Like, follow, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.
That's right. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. So now we got all the kids working together. We got the flashback of Chucky when he ended up meeting Tiff, and yeah, bro, it was a really good episode. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the kill in this week's episode more than last week's episode. I think that it was cool because I know that we had mentioned on one of the previous episodes who put Chucky's tombstone in Hackensack. And I mean, now that we've found out that Tiff, she was there as well, I mean, it makes sense that after his body was taken, after it was killed by the cop, that she buried him. It makes sense now. Like, how did you feel about seeing the flashbacks in this week's episode?
I appreciate it. These, now that we're getting up to speed, you basically get more and more of Charles Lee Ray's, backstory, and you get to see how he was luring people in from the jump, and he meets Tiff, and they're basically killing it up, bro. I really enjoyed it.
And I like the red herring where it's like they showed the girl with the blonde hair to make you think that was Tiff when she was younger. And then we get the real Tiffany, and like we found out that her hair, she was originally a brunette. And she was the one that told him, she was like, Charles, you should call yourself Chucky. And he said, you should change your hair blonde. And I thought that was pretty interesting. I also thought, in the present time, seeing the kids finally thinking that they got rid of Chucky because Lexi's dad, he ends up getting a new one, and his name is Tony. I was like, okay.
And Tony in the house.
The new Tony. They ain't talking about Tony Stark either.
No, they ain't.
But it was cool. I like, because how you see this in horror movies where it's just like, the heroes, they think that they won, they got the job done. They thought that they took Chucky out, only to find out that Chucky is still alive. And he ends up transferring his body. The messed up Chucky transfers his body into the Tony stuffed doll. And like, of course, I can't even remember, like, how did Tony get back into the house again?
That is a good question.
I don't think they showed.
Did he? The dad brought it in.
Okay, so the dad went in the trash can and got it out. Okay, yeah, because
Are you talking about the one that was at in the windowsill?
No, the one that was in the bed with her sister at the end of the episode.
The new doll. Because remember, the burnt up one, maybe he did it through the window. I have no idea how the Chucky chant works nowadays. I mean, as far as we know, this is canon, so he can have multiple bodies. So I thought that was going to be the reveal. Like, there was more than one of them running around at a time anyway.
Yeah, well, I mean, there are, but I mean, like, as we see in the episode, that we finally see Tiff, and we finally see Nika, and like, it was cool. It was cool seeing them. And Nika, like, she has these she doesn't have these moments, but she had one in this episode where it's just like she snapped out of Chucky controlling her, and like I like how they showed the events that happened from Curse of Chucky and Cult of Chucky. And like I also think it's interesting too, because remember in those movies, she was in a wheelchair, but once Chucky took over her body, he was able to walk. And because she had control of her body again, it kind of reminded me of Midnight Mass. And check out that review. It is here on the channel. But remember, it's just like the girl, she could walk, and then like at the spoilers. I don't want to say too much, but look, if you haven't watched Midnight Mass, go watch Midnight Mass.
Get on it; it's phenomenal.
Yes, it is
phenomenal.
But, go ahead, D.
I just want to follow up. I thought it was interesting. It gave me Get Out vibes. Like somebody flashed the camera in Mika's face, and she just kind of like snapped out for a second. Because initially, when the scene comes up, I thought that it was just Chucky playing with the dude the whole time, to be honest with you. But she was it does, show that she was having flashbacks and kind of remembering what happens to her, which is also interesting because this is, I mean, all of this is so new, the details of the chant, because before it was just like, hey, you got to get into somebody's body and then, that's it. Kind of like a Captain Ginyu, there is no way back, but come to find out it's more of like a battle of willpower, apparently, kind of like Greed and Lynn.
Yeah.
Well, so
something else that's interesting too is that Chucky, he knew that she had control again, and like that's the reason why he killed the victim that they had in the room, the hostage that they had, and because he was just like, he didn't want Trish knowing that Nika could gain control of the body. Now, something that I thought was interesting too is that it seems like not much time has passed after the events of Cult of Chucky.
Yes.
Because she was like, yeah, it's only been 2 weeks. And I think she said she thought that 2 weeks had passed, but the guy was just like, no, it's like it's been a amount of time has passed since then. So we don't know what Chucky and Tiff have done, and we don't know where the other Chucky dolls are, because remember at the end of the movie there was Chucky and Nika's body, and then there was like 2 or 3 dolls that I believe were roaming around, but she said that Chucky took his body, he split his soul into like 5 parts, right?
Yeah.
And then Andy killed one of them. So
while we're here, I don't want to skip over this, but do you think that it's weakening Chucky's ability to transfer because he's, just like in any anime? Yeah, he split his soul so many ways, and maybe that's why Mika can come back.
Yeah, no, I really think that that's the reason why, is because he does have his body and I mean, not his body, but his soul in multiple bodies. So I do think that that's the case, and it's just pretty interesting, man, because it's like honestly, man, it's like, I don't know about you, but it's like, I know that we're getting close to the end of this series, and honestly, like, I want Chucky to have a definite ending. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want the good guys to eventually win, and I want them to finally take Chucky down once and for all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Chucky has had a good run. It's had his highs, and it's definitely had his lows. But it's like, I'm ready for. I really don't want a season 2. Like, what do you think? Like,
I'm kind of up in the air. It's funny that you bring this up because I feel like Chucky is one of the horror icons that you can really run with as a TV show. It works. Yeah. Because him and Jennifer, they kind of, or Tiffany, excuse me, we'll go with her character name, but they just move around anyway, and kill people. So it's like, what direction? They could easily say that they escape, or the kids, they fend them off and they leave Hackensack. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's interesting. It's not like let's do another Michael Myers. You know what I'm saying? Chucky's a little different for me. It's not like, let's bring Jason back and he just goes on another killing spree. This is a little different because he is just, at the end of the day, a serial killer. Yeah. I mean, now, no other way to say it.
Something I want to touch on, and this is something I've never mentioned, but I know you and Trav have both talked about this, and that's the fact that the doctor from Cult of Chucky is the dad in this TV show.
And it's very weird.
Now, I get that it may be weird for you guys, and it may be weird for some of our viewers and people who watch the TV show that even remember that, but you got to remember, and what was it? Not Seed of Chucky, Bride of Chucky. Remember Jennifer Tilly, she played Tiffany at the start of the movie, right? And then and Seed of Chucky, she plays herself. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she played the character, then she played herself, and then she possessed herself. So now,
yeah, but that was just a little weird thing that I'm sure they wanted to do. The reason that I say the dad in this is weird because he was a pervert is the main reason that it's weird. Yeah. He was playing a totally different character, and he was basically taking advantage of Nika.
Yeah.
So it was just, that's what makes it weird. Not that they're just I mean, I see people get reused all the time, sometimes, depending on what I'm watching. But that's what makes it weird. Not that they double cast them.
Yeah.
I mean, Marvel does it too. So
yeah,
they've done it a couple times.
That's true. Well, now something else that I wanted to touch on is the fact that we finally found out what Junior's mom, like who she was calling and whatnot. We found out that she has cancer.
Yes.
And that she was meeting up with her therapist and whatnot. And I was kind of intrigued to see what was going to happen, because it's like she hasn't told her husband, and then she, like, the counselor was just like, well, have you told your son? And she was just like, he'll find out eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like they made it seem like it's like she was cheating on,
very good husband. Misdirect.
You know what I'm saying? Another red herring, because it's like that's what we thought was going on. Like, and now we finally know. So I feel like, as we get closer to the end of this series, like, we're just going to keep on learning more and more stuff. It was also cool to finally see that that Jake and Devin, because they thought that they won, they shared an intimate moment. Like, that was cool to see that between them.
Oh yeah, of course, for sure.
The relationship between Lexi, Jake, and Devin. And then, with them, I can understand why Junior felt the way that he did. You know what I'm saying? Because
he was on the outside.
Yeah, he's on the outside. And then Lexi,
but she was right though. At the end of the day, like,
he wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, he wouldn't be able to take it in and digest it. So keep him on the outside, unfortunately. So.
But now, I mean, see, now that brings a question up, because now, do you think that Junior is going to be the one that may get possessed or may become the killer? Because remember, we thought it was going to be Jake, but I mean, like, you see Junior, it's just like he was at the party, and
another red herring, basically.
You know what I'm saying? He can't compete in sports right now because of the injury. It's like he sees like he already wasn't too fond of Jake. Now Jake is living with them, and now Jake is hanging out with his girlfriend. He feels like the outsider. He saw that Lexi asked the other dude to bring liquor over to the house instead of asking him, so he already feels some type of way. So it's like everything is building up. So I mean, it's a possibility that we could see Junior becoming a killer. It's a possibility. Yeah. What do you think?
Maybe. I definitely think that is a possibility. Either that, or, I mean, in a wild world, I could see maybe the mom getting possessed.
That's true.
Who knows? Junior's mom. I mean, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, there is a supernatural aspect to the chant. So, I'm not really sure. I think it's going to be one or the other. We are coming up on the final episode. Do you have any predictions for who's going to bite the dust?
Well, we have 7 episodes, but I mean, it might be 8, but yeah, you got 2 more episodes. November 16th, November 23rd. So yeah, we're going to see what's going to happen next. The final thoughts and rating for this week's episode.
I really enjoyed the flashbacks in this episode. You get a couple clips from the different movies, that the kills. And then I like the reveal that he doesn't have total control of this body. And I think that's going to be a major factor, because if it is the fact that he's splitting his soul too many ways, like, is this going to be a scenario where each one of the Chuckies is either we could have each one of the Chuckies take over other human hosts, or is he going to try and put all of his soul into one person? And another candidate has to be the younger Lexi's little sister for body possessions, kind of like Andy, So yeah, and I'm gonna give this one an 8 out of 10 as well. You, Banks?
Okay, cool. And also too, I wanted to make a correction. His name wasn't Tony; it was Tommy. Tommy was the new dog. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going to happen next. I want to see if we're going to see Andy finally make an appearance, because I mean, he called Jake in the first episode. He knows about Chucky. He knows what's going on, and I just want to see like how this thing is going to wrap up. I can't wait to get to the season finale. I like the direction that the show is going in right now with, with the heroes thinking that they got the job done. But then, like we see at the end of the episode, the principal's head, it comes rolling at the stage. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like that right there just goes to show. It's just like, okay, Chucky isn't dead. You know what I'm saying? Nope. So now it's like they have to figure out what's going on and like how they're going to stop Chucky. But again, you have the Chucky and Nika's body and Tiff, they're in town. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that I want to say too is that while I feel like that they're all connected in a way, this is a Naruto comparison, but remember like when Naruto used the shadow clone jutsus, it was just like each clone, it retained memory of like whatever it was doing and it got experience while it was doing its own thing. So I feel like that's something that's going on with Chucky, where it's like all of these souls are in the different good guy dolls, but they're able to all be connected under one link. So like they can see and they know everything that's going on. So I hope that gets explained as well. I do hope that we see Chucky's son and daughter make an appearance, because years have passed by now since the events of Seed of Chucky. So it would be interesting to see what they're doing now. Like, just go ahead and bring back the whole family. For me, I'm going to agree with you. I give this episode an 8 out of 10. Solid episode. Can't wait to see what's going to happen on next week's episode. And with that being said, thank you for watching our review. Make sure that you let us know in the comments what you thought about this week's episode. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What's your rating for the episode? D, let them know where they can find you at in social media land.
As always, you can find me at rebellious_D23 Instagram.com. Hey, Banks, they trying to wrap up this case, man. They need some help. Where can they find you?
Hey, you can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Facebook at Benjamin Banks. I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. Thank you again for watching this review. Make sure you check out some more reviews that we have here on the channel, along with interviews and reaction videos. Check out our podcast, where we drop new episodes every Tuesday. And then the brand new episode is up here on YouTube that Friday. Like I always say, keep that pinky up, stay positive, get ready for the Great Turkey War. We'll see you next time on Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Peace.
Thanks again, everybody, for watching another episode of Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to the channel. Podcast, we got that too. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and hit that bell for further episodes and notifications. Thanks a lot to our patrons. And if you don't mind, join the Patreon. We'll be having new specials coming up soon.